Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top 5 best solo and maybe duo landing spots in the new Chapter 5 Season 3 season that will guarantee that you will stop dying off spawn so that you guys can easily gain rank and even live off spawn in tournaments. All these spots are very solid, so make sure you stick around till the end, and right before the video starts, I would really appreciate if you could drop a like on the video, and only after you finish watching the entire video, you can hit that subscribe button if you found any of these spots useful. So yeah, let's get right into it. So this first spot is this little place right here at the bottom of the map. It's located just under this place called Megaldo Depot, and this is a landmark, so you won't see this name in game, but it's basically bottom of the map in between Brutal Sharkhead and Redline Rig, so right down here. And basically down here, as you can see, we have about 1 2 3 4 5 chest spawns, and there's probably more. And then you see that there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 slurp barrels. Maybe, I think there's more. I don't know if there's another one under there. So yeah, the 8 slurp barrels will give you 80 shields, and I forgot to say there's also about, I think, 3 or 4 different of those shield cactuses, so that'll automatically give you like max shields, including the barrels. And as you can see, there's also a whole bunch of floor loot spawns and everything. So if you land here, you'll definitely be able to get fully set off spawn, and there's obviously a lot of other mats you can farm here as well. There's a bay over here, and you can probably fish down here. And yeah, so this spot will definitely get you set up for off spawn, and even though it doesn't have the best loot, what you can do is from here, as you can see, there's a launch pad spawn. You can use this launch pad to go up over here. So if I were to use this from here to up here, just like that, or you can go from down here to either Redline Rig if you want to go for the medallion, or even Brutal Sharkhead. And as you can see, there's also a lot of loot on the way to each of these POIs. Not much towards Brutal. You'd have to go up here, follow this loot path. But for here, you could just go from right here to right here to right here. If you want to go down here, you can, or you can just go straight up from there, just like that. So the next spot that I'm going to be showing you guys is, I feel like, maybe almost as good or a little bit better or worse than the other spot. And I'm saying that because even though there's an insane amount of loot here, it's highly, like, there's a high chance of it getting contested by other people compared to the other one. But this one's called the Dam Bridge. It's another landmark, so you're not going to see this name in game. So it's basically located to the bottom, or I mean top right of like sandy steps, so like just like that. So yeah, this, you'll definitely see on the map just like that. And this spot is insanely good. As you can already see, there's an insane amount of spawns, like for loot and everything. So I'm not going to count all the chests and everything if you want to pause the video and count this, but as you can see, there's just an insane amount. And all these ammo crates have a high chance of being mega ammo crates because this season has an increased chance of those. And again, this season you can get shields from mega ammo crates, and even the nitro, like whatever that is called, the nitro thing. So yeah, it's definitely worth landing here. There's an insane amount of fishing holes and stuff, a reboot van if you're playing multi-game modes, and also a tip, this water right here heals Y health, so it's pretty slow, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't work in Storm, but for whatever reason you need Y health, this heals your Y health. So yeah, don't waste Y health if you get hit or something. And there's also just 2 slurp barrels. That's not going to heal you up to max, but it's there, and you're guaranteed to get max shield from here. There's just an insane amount of loot here. And then right here at the bottom, there is a launch pad which you can use. And oh, by the way, under all these bridges, there's also a lot of like metal you can farm, like metal and bricks. So that'll be helpful for you guys as well. And yeah, so once you're done over here, you most likely will pull first circle here, maybe even second. But if you don't, or even if you do, you can use this launch pad down here to either rotate 2 over here, because there's also a whole bunch of more loot here, and there's also a bunker spawn there. It's obviously not guaranteed to spawn though. Or you can go up to this Primo Pump gas station over here. There's more slurp barrels and chests and stuff there. So yeah, you guys can create loot routes. You can go to Fortnite GG to try this out with yourself. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of different areas you can go to if you want to go to the Nitro Dome for a medallion, or you want to rotate down to Brutal Sharkhead. Because by the time you actually loot this spot, I'm pretty sure the medallion here is going to be taken, but they're going to start moving up this way most likely. And if you want to catch them off guard by coming down towards them, you can maybe catch them off guard and kill them for the medallion. But yeah, you have a lot of options here. You guys can go check this out on Fortnite GG if you guys want to create your own loot routes for any of these. And yeah, so this spot is actually just really solid. Okay, so now we're going to a not new spot that basically has not been changed at all, Classy Courts, and you guys can know where this is on the map because it's a named location. And why I'm putting Classy Courts in this video is because it's obviously a very solid drop. There's an insane amount of loot here. It's a named location, obviously, so it's going to be pretty stacked. But the one thing they actually did change is if I go over here, I can spawn an NPC, and it's kind of hiding. But right here, basically like Oscar spawns, and you can actually eliminate Oscar, or you don't have to eliminate him. You can challenge him, and you'll be rewarded a Mythic Frenzy Auto Shotgun. So the Mythic Auto is obviously extremely overpowered, but obviously since NPCs are not in competitive Fortnite, you won't be able to get the Mythic Auto, especially in solo cash cups, because that's when they were really strong. So yeah, since there's no NPCs, you aren't gonna get Mythic Auto in, or even the Mythic Gatekeeper in what is it called, competitive. But if you're landing here in ranked and you want the Mythic Auto because it's so overpowered, you can land here and actually challenge the Oscar boss for that. And there's obviously an insane amount of metal you can farm around these courts, and you're most likely going to be contested here because it's a named location and it's pretty strong. But it's honestly an open area and it's easier to fight than some other locations. And there's also a lot of like high points like on top of buildings. You just don't want to get stuck down in these courts when someone's up above you. But yeah, and this place is also a little bit down compared to up here, so there's actually like stairs leading down here, so you don't want to get stuck down here either. So when you're fighting, just make sure you're up, obviously elevated. That's just something you should know when you're fighting someone. But yeah, there's an insane amount of chest spawns, slurp barrel spawns. There's also vending machine spawns. But yeah, this is a very solid drop as well if you want to land here. So this next spot is a most likely going to be uncon spot, and it's very small. It's right above Sandy Steps, and it has a solid amount of loot. As you can see, if you land here, there's floor spawns here. There's 2 chest spawns. They aren't guaranteed, but they most likely will spawn. There's also an insane amount of floor loot spawn. There's 2 slurp barrels as well. So basically you can land here, loot these 2 chests in these buildings, get the 2 slurp barrels, and there's a vending machine that spawns right here if you're not in competitive, but in ranked or pubs or whatever. There is a vending machine spawn here, and the healing vending machine rates are higher this season. So if you get a healing vending machine, you can easily buy like big pots or medkits from here, so you're stacked off spawn. And once you loot over here, you can rotate down to this floor spawn. Then there's another floor spawn in a bush here. And then right here, there's a little tunnel you can go through. And inside the tunnel, there's a lot of loot. Like there's 2 chest spawns. Those are guaranteed. There's a amount of slurp, like a huge amount of slurp barrels to the left side of the tunnel if you're facing towards this place. And there's also some other floor spawns. And basically, you can just run through that tunnel, loot everything in there. And then you'll be at Snooty Steps. And over here, you can fight anyone here. There's also a lot of like high ground elevation here, so it's easier to fight. But yeah, if it's uncon for some reason or it's barely conned by anyone, you can also loot because there's an insane amount of spawns here. So yeah, this is a really solid spot, especially because this spot is basically never contested. And you guys don't even have to go to Snooty Steps. You can loot that tunnel and just go back out up here and go over here because there's also a cell tower spawn right here. There's also a huge pad up here on top of this huge cliff. And yeah, there's many other spots you can go to. Again, you can go to Fortnite GG and create your own loot path, but I sort of created one here for you if you guys want to use that. But yeah, there's many different things you can do, possibilities that you want to like incorporate into your game. But yeah, this is a very solid uncon spot. So this next spot is actually located right over here in this like lake in the middle of the map right here. And down here, as you can see, there's a little dock and there's a lot of loot here. And something that's changed is over here in this water, there's 10 slurp barrel spawns. Yeah, and floor loot spawns. So that's full shield literally instantly. So basically what you can do is land on these floor loot spawns. Just start breaking the barrels. If someone lands here, you can place 2 walls and keep farming. You'll have max shield. These guys will whoever lands here is definitely not gonna have max shields faster than you. And then from right there, you can just push in if someone lands there. You don't even have to push. You can also rotate somewhere else. But you should just go over here. And if there's no one here that's perfect for you, you can loot up over here. And then you can just follow down to this tunnel. There's also more slurp barrels here. You can farm for metal if you're not full shield or whatever, if you need metal. There's also more loot spawns. And then from there, you can basically geyser over to over here because there's geyser spawns. You geyser over to this chest and you can geyser over to up here. Or if you want to get more loot, you can also go from here to over here. And I'm sorry, there's no geyser over here. You can just swim over here. There's a geyser over here at this chest island, and then you can geyser up to there. But basically from here, you can go over here. There's also a whole bunch of more loot here. And from there, you can actually key to Nitro Dome if you want the medallion. If you're going to play really aggressive, you can key to Restored Reels. Or you can just go up here in a more chill spot. And yeah, and you can also loot the rest of the lake. There's also a lot of other chest spawns and floor loot spawns around the lake. So yeah, this is a really solid spot. Might be contested, might not be. It's in the middle of the map. So you want to be careful from all your angles because you get keyed from this little spot over here. But yeah, there's a lot of loot here. You can create your own loot path, as I said again. Oh, and by the way, from here you can also go over here, because over here there's usually car spawns in rank, but if you're in a tournament, there's no cars, so you can also loot over here because people most likely won't land here. But yeah, you can go over here, more loot over there, and it's up to you where you go after that. This is a really solid spot though. So guys, that's it for today's video, and if you guys found this helpful, again, as I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and again, like this video if you haven't already. And if you want to support me, make sure you use code MELLOW in the Fortnite item shop, and I will catch you guys in the next video.